all grayed out before. So I just refreshed it. Let's see. It says going live again. See if we'll actually. Hey, now it says you're live. All right.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right. So YouTube just arrived.
YouTube just arrived. Intro's over.
But welcome, YouTube. You missed the intro, but
it's been recorded. You can watch it later.
Probably heard it before.
Yep.
So go ahead and submit your questions, and we can answer them. There are some questions from last week that we can jump on. While the new questions are coming in. Let's see. Do any of your tunes, be it ECU or TCU, increase the red line on the B9 3.0 T?
Yeah, yes. Definitely. Yeah.
Stage 3 does.
Stage 3 for sure does.
Yep. Yeah.
Stage 1 and 2 does.
Yeah. Stage 1 and 2, the turbo's out of steam by that point, so
there's
not really any point in doing it.
Yeah. So we haven't been on that.
Yep.
And actually, our TCU tune it lowers the shift points way below, right?
In like sport mode,
sport
and AMAX, any kind of launching and whatnot, the shift points will happen sooner than stock because that's going to get you the fastest acceleration.
Yep. Will BMW M tuning ever be explored by 034 in the future? We are now, so we do have new products coming out. We do have some BMW products that fit the M cars already, and we will be doing more. Whether we'll do like a full-on frontal assault like we do for like the B9 S4 is yet to be determined, but it's a very different market. From a branding standpoint, we're not recognized. We don't have the same type of credibility with customers. In the Volkswagen Audi world, we can release a new product and everyone... there's a high level of confidence and enthusiasm about it. I think we do because of our reputation in Volkswagen and Audi. We haven't hurried that yet in BMW. That's something that can take a long time to build. Not to say that the products that we're releasing don't have credit, aren't credible, but this is a brand perception thing. So we're slowly moving that direction and releasing the same great type of products we have for Volkswagen Audi for BMW as well. You can go to our website currently and see what's available, and more is coming for sure. Any new wheels coming? Yes, we've been discussing our Flowform wheels, and sorry, I got something about
good,
like a piece of aluminum or something.
Nice. Hardy Brook.
I guess that's good. Automotive manufacturer. Problem.
They say getting iron supplements, it's not big.
No. But this is a good source of iron right here.
Yeah, just keep
what was I talking about?
Something about wheels.
Oh yeah. ADHD moment. The Flowform wheels are coming. We have samples and prototypes here, and the production run is being made. So we're hoping to get those out by the end of the year, but we'll see. All right, we got lots of new questions rolling. Let's jump to this week's questions. IE had a beta tester tease for their Pure 750 tune. Do you still have it in the plan?
Absolutely.
Yes, of course. It sounds like they'll probably release it before us, but we are working on it. Our next tune that we'll release is the TT810, and then the 750 will be after that.
Yep.
Any update on TT7 or 810 tune for B9?
There you go. Yep, coming up next.
Yeah, it's next. No date yet, but we are working on it.
Actually, the next tune will be stock downpipe 710, and then 810 is the next.
Say it again. Oh, stock downpipe
710.
Right.
Wow, they didn't lock the seal.
Yeah, stock downpipe 710 will be great because you can actually make a lot of power on the stock cat, and you'll have basically full emissions.
Yep.
You'll have your catalytic converter, which does the bulk of the emissions work. Can you run your guys' downpipe on a Mark 7 without going stage 2 so I can still run a stock clutch without having a check engine light?
No.
The entire purpose of stage 2 is for racing when you'd like to race with a racing cat or a high flow cat, and you'd like to keep your check engine light off and also be able to, rely on your OBD diagnostic system.
That's all it's for.
That's literally what stage. So I don't know why you would want to do stage 2 unless you weren't racing. Then of course that would be With regards to obtaining a dual pulley ratio via a single 207 crank pulley, is there any risk to engine wear from a single larger crank pulley? Not that we're aware of. You could hypothesize and theorize and do mental gymnastics about it all you want, but there's just not enough data or evidence, and it would take. I mean, we know that there's no short-term detriments, or let's say in the last 2 years, probably since those pulleys have been
107s, yeah.
the 207s have been out for a couple years. There was some talk about 207s breaking and shearing the bolts. We have not seen that issue with our pulley, and the only thing I can think of is those other pulleys probably were not installed correctly. We have not seen that. We're selling a lot of 207 pulleys, right? And not even one failure that I've heard. We've had people have smaller pulley bolt failures. Again, if you don't tighten the bolts properly, they get loose. They will shear. But no, there's no evidence of long-term wear. I'm not even sure what that's based on, so maybe somebody has some information on what the basis of that theory would even be. I'd be interested to hear.
It's less detrimental than your stock pulley coming apart.
Right. Yeah. Which they do. Just want to say B9 Stage 3 E60 is absolutely fucking nuts.
Yes, it is.
And I can't get over it. That's awesome. I can't get over your comment.
It is incredible what those cars turn into. You know, I mean, they're fast.
We got some Woof Woof action from the Lazy Dog S8. Welcome.
Lazy Dog, all right. Nice.
Woof Woof. What's a good response to Woof Woof? I mean, you're like, your wife's a veterinarian.
Yeah, I think you already did it. You woofed back.
Just the woof back?
It's not the clap.
What would a dog do?
You just sniff their butt. I don't know, like that's.
Oh, butt sniffing.
Butt sniffing.
Yeah, that's what we used to do for hiring. Yeah. All right. Any updates on B9 Stage 3 RS5 file? You say it's coming, but when? A lot of people have hardware without software. We do not. The reason we haven't been saying when is because we do not have a release date.
Yeah, that's like, I mean, it's done when it's done. We're not, we could either not talk about it at all.
Yeah, we talk about this stuff, and all we ask is that there's some understanding and patience. That just because we're talking about it doesn't mean we should be forced to give a date. So yeah, no, I'll be honest, it's not being worked on today. There's some other RS5 stuff that we're finishing up first.
Yep.
And we're bringing B9.5 support to the market. We've been working on that. That will be released soon. So anyways, we'll keep you posted. We understand there's people with hardware. We understand there's been people with TT 720s on their cars for like 2 years.
Yeah.
With tuning boxes and all kinds of hack solutions. So we're gonna get you taken care of. Have a little patience, but we appreciate the enthusiasm and the knowledge of that there's people waiting. It definitely helps. And when it comes to prioritizing, we have to choose the things we work on level of importance.
Yep.
I love the new camber product names, Camster and Camber Toe. Yes. So we try to have fun, Camber toe sounds a lot like camel toe, which everybody loves. Yeah, I'm just gonna say it. And if you want people to have a good positive initial reaction, even subconsciously, then you relate it to something that everybody loves, which is camel toe. So I'm a huge fan myself, and I think it was my idea, actually.
It was, yeah. I mean, you don't want to know what. I mean, we were going to do steering knuckles for a while, and those had a whole other name.
I think that's live stream.
Yeah, I think I just threw.
I down.
Yeah, I threw it out there, and Nick just lost it for like 5 minutes. But and listen, I mean, I think people take things way too seriously. Like, just say fuck. Like, what's the big deal?
Just don't Google Camster alone.
Well, what you Google?
Don't Google camber toe. It'll turn correct.
Why not? No, Google it and see what.
I'm sorry.
I mean, just
if
maybe
you're
not do it at
expecting
work.
something, or
Maybe your employer's super uptight about this stuff, and they could fire you or something. So please be careful. But
it goes for all Google things.
Yeah. So, anyways, I digress. So we have a new product on our website that's called the camber toe kit for the Audi R8, and this is a bevy of products that allow you to adjust the camber and toe of your R8. So we came up with these clever little shims. I haven't seen this on the market, but thanks to the very classic and novel multi double wishbone suspension, multi-link double wishbone suspension on the R8, we were able to space the mounting points for the control arms out from the frame rail to generate more camber. And so we offer a series of spacers that can be installed underneath the plates. Do we include longer hardware too? Yeah, so we include new longer hardware, and you can generate a range of camber from like an additional 1 to like 3.5. Yeah, you can add 3 degrees to the camber. Now, this is transformative to the amount of grip that the car can generate, and a stock R8 generates an impressive amount of grip. But if you put some good tires on your R8, say some R compounds, and you dial in camber,
from anywhere 1.1 to 3.5 in the rear, and 1.5 to 4.3 in the front. Jesus.
Yeah, so up to 4.3 in the front, up to 3.5 in the rear. And I've driven the car with the maximum camber on good tires on track, and it's ridiculous. I mean, it's kind of a race car levels of grip without all the downforce, as much as you're going to pretty much get. So you can do the camber, and then you can also adjust your toe. And so this is an adjustable toe link, which the factory link's not really very adjustable. I think there's a little eccentric on it, but so this is, I haven't seen anything on the market this complete for the R8. I think this is a must-have product for every R8. Even if you just street drive your R8, you can add like a degree front and rear, and it'll be very noticeable. It won't have a big impact on tire wear, and it will generate a lot more cornering grip, which who doesn't want that? So that's now live on our website, and we have our R8 sway bars coming soon. This will be a front rear sway bar kit with end links. So stay tuned for that for all you R8 owners out there. All right. If you have any questions about it, please let me know. What one product each of you can answer when you see an order going out for, are like, this guy girl is going to be so stoked with the difference it makes. Oh, come on. I think that about every...
It's all of them, right?
Yeah. No, seriously. It's a cliche answer, but...
I mean, every product we have, we try and make it as substantive as possible for even down to these, little plates, little, mounts, little widgets. They all will have their part in transforming what the car is.
I mean, that's a really, really great question, but to truly clarify, we do really care about this stuff. Yeah. And I actually do look at every single order.
It is ridiculous.
Yeah, I do. So our website, whenever an order is placed, we receive hundreds and hundreds of orders a day. An email summarizing the order, just the same as the email you would get as the customer. I get a version of that emailed to me. And every day I scroll through hundreds and hundreds of orders, and I look at every order. And I glance at the products that are ordered, and I glance at who ordered it. And all this kind of goes into my head and sits in this database. And so whenever anyone asks me anything about product sales or customers,
it's pretty disturbing.
Yeah, I can just pull from this database. That's completely subconscious. It's not conscious. But as part of that process, I do see and I'm like, oh, cool, we just sold those. A lot of it is the knowledge that whoever gets the part is going to be happy.
Yeah.
But there's also a huge sense of pride and accomplishment that we had this idea. These products are not easy to develop. They can take years, some of them, to bring to market. Lots of thinking, testing, science, engineering.
Resourcing to build the things.
Yeah. Trying to find someone, manufacturer in the world who can make it to our standards and to our specifications. And all that comes, and then we release it, and we try to get it out in front of, the customers. And then when it sells, it's a huge sense of accomplishment. I mean, and so ultimately that's why I look at these orders, because it makes me feel good to see, oh, cool, this is selling. This person's going to get this part. They're going to be really happy with it. So, but I think it's definitely, I think the amount of fun that you can have from a part is somewhat relative, and pretty much anyone who's getting like a tune of any kind, I know they're going to be stoked.
There are. I mean, you're right. There are the products that are
DAZA
just going to transform what the vehicle came from to what you're turning it into with that one part. But it's
just the B9 tunes. That B9 3-liter is so potent, and I know that if somebody flashes their car with stage 1 and they put E85 in the tank, they're gonna have a riot. So I think that's probably the lowest bang for the buck of anything we do, or the highest bang for the buck, lowest cost of entry is B9 3.0T stage 1 E85. You really don't have to do anything to the car.
It's a lot of car.
You just have to fill up the tank and just have your face ripped off. It's for, I don't know, $900 or whatever.
Something like that.
Yeah. I mean, how much does it cost to go to Disneyland these days? Isn't it like,
Better than that.
Isn't it like $300? Just to get in?
Just for tickets. Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, this is so much more fun than anything at Disneyland.
It lasts a lot longer.
All right.
Question.
Thank you guys.
Okay.
We're getting through them. There's a lot of questions.
All right, we'll be a little faster. Are the intake for the S4 S5 that different from the SQ5? I only see one intake available for the SQ5, but it's the most expensive. Yes, they're completely different.
They are different boxes entirely.
They don't fit these S cars like the SQ5, whether it's a B8 or B9 or whatever. The motor's dropped down in the frame, and so just the airbox positioning and everything is totally different. The reason the X34 for the SQ5 is so expensive is it's a complete enclosed carbon fiber box.
It's got the opening. So.
It's open on one side, but it's an enclosed box, so it's a big assembly. And then there's the really nice duct that we provide with it as well. That's all in carbon fiber. If we had done our S34 format, it would have been a lot cheaper, which is just an open shield on one side. So, but they're different. Unfortunately, one does not fit the other. Wasn't the stage 2 TCU for B9.5 S5 supposed to come out last week? I still don't see it's available.
Yeah, it's coming. This is part of, we could either not talk about it or give you guys hopeful estimates, but yeah, no, there was a couple more things we wanted to wrap up with some launch control shift points before doing the mass effort of getting them up ported. Those I believe will be wrapped up today. It looks like.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out last week. We're sorry.
Yeah, we wanted to make it just a little bit better before we released it.
We decided to spend a little bit more time and do a little bit more with it. So stay tuned. It's you're on the cusp. Will you guys ever sell dyno time for customers? No, we won't. Not unless, for example, so we're opening new service facilities. We just opened one in San Jose. If one of those service facilities got a dyno for the purpose of selling dyno time, we would consider it. However, our current dyno here at 034 headquarters is needed 100% of the time for engineering. Whether it's hardware engineering, developing intakes, or tuning calibration, creating ECU calibrations. And it's actually a really bad way to make money. It's a lot of work.
It's a terrible,
not that we're just only here to make money, but
I guess that's the other thing is though, we're not like a dyno shop, so we don't have we're not set up to just with there's shops that's all they do, and they have online scheduling, queuing, and it's just their entire business is built around running a dyno shop.
Just think about it. What's the average dyno is like $200 an hour. So if you booked 8 hours, you'd be looking at $1,600. So try to build a business model around a business that generates about $2,000 of business a day with $100,000 dyno and whatever facility. It's hard to make money doing that. So if you can sell parts, you could sell $20,000 of parts in an hour, and you could make $10,000 in 1 hour if you had good margins on those parts. So it's just a hard. My point is, it's just a tough business.
Well, and we don't use it. Yeah, we use it as it's an R&D tool. It's not a it's not a
For us,
it's not
for
a
us,
resource that we just play with or market in and of itself.
And we probably won't open a dyno facility for customers because there's just no way to pay for it. It's not a good business. Hey guys, I pretty much have your entire catalog for my B9 S5, also on stage 285, and it's been amazing. Any way to quiet down the control arms creaking, popping on full lock?
I'm not sure which control arms
They
but they certainly shouldn't be.
I don't know. Yeah, is it our control arms or?
That's the best.
Yeah, if you could follow up with what control are you talking about? Factory OEM stuff?
Yeah, hit up well. This would be a good one for our just our normal customer support channel too. We certainly don't want you creaking and groaning out there. So grab a video of it, send it to customers or to our support email.
Yeah.
We will take a look at what you got.
Yeah. Probably been answered, but I'm running the stage 1 93 octane ECU tune on my B8.5 S5. I can only get 92 octane gas near me. Is it fine to run 91?
Nope.
92.
We will always tell, or we've said this a number of times, but you want to run the highest tuned octane that is below your actual fuel. So if you run 92, that doesn't mean you go over that with the tune and run 93. It means you run up to 91. And for what it's worth, the 92 stuff and data we've seen, it's not very good. I'd put it on par with most of our 91. The fuel itself.
The tunes are good.
No, I'm talking the fuel. The fuel, like I wouldn't say it's like, oh yeah, 92 is like basically 93. I'd say it's more like basically 91.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we in the Pacific Northwest, we went up there and actually tuned a car, and
number of
the fuel was basically 90. It was basically 90.
Yeah.
From a timing and tuning stuff.
Yep, just the way the fuel behaved. So I would say, run the 91 file. You're probably going to have no difference in performance. You'll have a much smoother, more optimized calibration than anything.
The worst thing is if you ran 93 and the ECU is having to make timing corrections, that's actually going to perform worse than 91 running 92.
Yeah, you can actually run more timing with a better optimized lower octane map than if you were trying to run on a higher octane map that is then doing timing corrections, because it's going to overswing to correct and err on the side of safety. Generally you'll actually get a little better operational performance with a proper map there.
Yeah, the 91 tune will be happy with 92 octane.
Yeah.
It will be 93 tune will be unhappy with 92.
Yep.
And you want your tune to be happy. Mm-hmm. Just like
we want your tune to be happy.
Mm-hmm. Can we log our RS3 TTRSs with your logging tool? I wanted to get some logs.
You can
tuning at
and we can look at getting that set up. Depends on what exact box code you have. Sometimes it takes a little longer to get that set up than others. But we absolutely have high-speed logging for that.
B8 question: have you tested intake air temps? Have you tested if the honeycomb front grills help lower intake air temps, or are they purely cosmetic? They seem to allow much more airflow. We haven't tested it. No. It stands to reason that it could help, but I doubt it's a big factor. There's certainly good ways to test it. I would do a baseline of just removing the grill together and then starting from there. You can kind of create a controller, isolate the variables of different grills by just removing it all together. When designing your E40 files, I know you can use either 91, 93 or 93 being more preferable. So what's more potent when tuning the mixed files, the octane or the alcohol content?
We calibrate with 91 in mind. The E40 makes up for generally all of the difference between the two.
It shouldn't really matter.
It doesn't matter, but it is. We ensure that we run California 91 on those calibrations as, I guess you could say, the worst case. But
I would say get 91 because it's going to be cheaper, and you're not going to really know because the E content's going to warrant the 2 octane points of gas aren't going to make really any difference. I just installed stage 193 octane along with the TC tune on my B8.5 SQ5, but I didn't feel that big of a difference in power gain. Am I supposed to see a difference right away?
Yes, you should feel a difference. I mean, if you're coming from like an already tuned something you didn't know about, What does catch some people out is they will, on the server, you'll see the stage 1 file and there'll be a list of files below it. Make sure you select the actual tuned file and not the stock file for that vehicle. But you can hit up tuning at and we can verify quickly exactly what you're on.
It sounds like you probably didn't flash the right file.
Yeah.
Because you would definitely know.
Yes, you'll definitely notice it.
I mean, there's been other comments of people just like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
so.
it's a big change coming from a stock car, so you should certainly use that.
Do you think internals are required for TT810? Not necessarily, because the torque shouldn't really change that much. What you're going to see is more power up top, where the 810 has more
legs.
top end breathing. So the 810 is going to allow more airflow, about 100 horsepower more airflow through its compressor and turbine wheels, and that's going to manifest as more power higher in the power band. It's not necessarily going to translate to more power down low. In fact, it's going to be laggier. So the A10 will, and I'm speaking in generalizations here, it will likely be easier on the roads than the 710.
Yep, that's usually how it goes with bigger turbos.
Yeah.
So all that power gets shifted up. You're not necessarily making a bunch more torque, but you're making, on average, more torque.
Yeah.
But your peak torque is not necessarily as high.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting a spam call.
Nice.
Any updates on a hybrid turbo setup from you guys for the DAZA platforms? I really don't want to go uni. We do have a car in-house running
700.
700. We just need to kind of put that in priority, and there has been a lot of, we've been selling a lot of DAZA tunes lately, so there is something going on with our biggest,
the DAZA market,
most successful competitor for DAZA. But the DAZA
shell game.
It's a very small market, and it's like there's like a hive mind of like what's good. I mean, I feel like there's very few rivalries in DAZA. Everyone just agrees that there's one thing that's the best. That's what everyone does. It's very interesting. We don't really see that in other markets. So I'm not sure how much more we'll invest in that. But we are considering releasing something. But
Okay, so the 700 is what he's looking for. Because our DAZA tune is amazing, but
great. Glad
you're loving it.
Yeah. Thank you for the great products and eagerly awaiting the super duper for the B8.5 SQ5. Any news? Also, any plans for front and rear brake set? Cool. The super duper is coming along. We just did some marketing and pricing on it last week, so I don't know what that means for a couple more months. Yeah. So I think we are waiting on a couple components for it. The hose mainly. So once the hose is here, we should be ready to go. And then what was the other kind of brakes? We are working on front B8 brakes. That is something that hopefully we can bring to market. I don't know what's going on with those, but forever.
I got a Creaking, come on.
Yeah. We won't do anything more for the rear. We have our brake rotors.
Yeah, and rear brakes are so much less.
And outlaws, they do a lot.
Yeah.
So it's generally for looks. If you want it to
Yep.
match the front and look cool, then it's a good way to go. Travada is slowly disappearing. Stop losing weight so quick. Well, thank you, Aram. I'm just trying to stay the same. That's kind of my goal. So, and it's been going well, but it's a lot of exercising and not that much eating. Any ETA on the new intake for the B9 S4 S34? Oh yeah, the super duper intake. It's coming, and we're working on it. We're fine. It's our goal is 1,000 horsepower intake, and that's what.
Yep.
Yeah, like,
you won't make 1,000 horsepower by slapping this on. It'll be able to flow up to.
Well, it's not an intake with a TT 1000 turbo
all those
built
electric
into it.
turbos.
Yeah, but no, it will have zero restriction at 1,000 horsepower, essentially zero. That's our goal, and also to be able to put like half your leg through it. Any updates on B9 inlets and also updates on end links for the B9? Been on back order for a while. I'm not familiar with the back order situation on end links, so maybe someone can get back to them on that.
They come in and out of stock pretty regularly, so if he's waiting to see it like update on the webpage.
Well, he says he's been on back order.
Back order.
He says been on back order a while. So I don't know what that's. If you've placed an order and it's on back order, then please email contact@034motorsport.com and that will get you an update. If you'd like a set, you should place an order and you will get it.
Oh, yeah. If you haven't ordered yet,
Yeah.
that stuff comes in and out, and we're shucking it as quick as we can.
So, and we, in a lot of cases, we have raw materials here and we do production runs and then they sell out. So the best thing to do is to place your order, and then you can ask for an ETA from contact@034.
Ordered 6/20/2022.
Okay, and then definitely email contact and ask what the heck's going on. Since June?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, that's not right. Sorry about that. That's a really long time.
Yeah.
I wonder if something went wrong.
Yep.
But definitely email contact and we'll get you sorted out. Any plans on developing a high pressure fuel pump for the B9 platform? Oh, funny you asked.
Yeah.
We will be releasing something soon. We just completed our final long-term endurance testing.
Yeah. We've got a number of cars on it,
and everything's been flawless. And so now we will be manufacturing them and bringing them to market. So they're probably a couple months out, but definitely stay tuned. From what I hear is that you guys are going to offer an inlet pipe and X pipes for the SQ5 come this December. I wanted to see if the timeline is still correct. Possibly December. That's definitely realistic. If it all goes well, we do have a Res X, which is an X pipe coming, and we do have inlets coming as well. So hang in there, stay tuned. It's all being worked on. Have you found through testing that if you unplug the exhaust valves or get an aftermarket exhaust on the B9 S4 that it throws a soft coat and affects performance?
The B9 S4, I don't believe. Well, most of them do not affect performance. They will throw a soft code. I believe there are some box codes that will affect performance. This is all in how they set up basically the software from the factory. Some models are more effective than others. RS cars, it does affect performance. You need a software change to allow you to basically unplug those. So.
And our RS5 tune does.
The RS5, the RS5s we have here certainly do get hit.
But we corrected that.
Yeah. And it just depends on the model, and honestly, it depends on what exact box code is on your car. DAZAs, it's the same thing. You get some that will get hit by it, some that aren't. So.
Hey guys, just wanted to say I'm loving the stage 3 on my SQ5. The sounds are amazing, and the looks I'm getting when I take off from the lights, amazing.
Is this Nick? Did Nick
Paul in the UK. Great. I'm glad to hear, Paul. That sounds awesome. Any plans for CARB-compliant parts for B9, B9.5 S4, intercooler intake? Excuse my ignorance, but could a tune be compliant too?
Yes, Paul.
Yeah, we will be doing the intake and the tune.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we don't have an intercooler, but yes, in intake and tune.
We haven't applied for CARB compliance on intercoolers. But we will definitely be doing the tune and the intake as we have for MQB 2.0 and B8 3.0 as well. Any updates coming for stage 1, 2 tunes for the B9 S4?
We've got 1 Plus and 2 Plus coming right around the corner here, which would be just a high pressure fuel pump upgrade, which gets you some more mid range power with 85. I don't think there's anything immediately following that I can think of. That's the big one.
All right, we're getting through questions.
Yeah.
Are you guys seeing any problems with B9 stage 3? I haven't heard of any.
No, it's a lot of power. There's things that will start showing weaknesses, spark plugs, coils,
Eventually.
that kind of stuff.
No, but I haven't heard of any blown motors or anything like that. And it's a very OEM plus type upgrade, which also makes a shit ton of power. No, I'd say they're good. Thankfully,
Yeah.
It doesn't help if we lie about it or try to trick people into doing it. You know, so we've been in business for almost 20 years. We've kind of seen it all. But it used to be that you would take your 180 or your Audi 5-cylinder, whatever, and you'd build a header, you'd buy a header from eBay or, you know, whatever, and you'd cobble together this turbo kit. And so we used to sell lots of turbos. Just get full frame Garrett turbos. Like, you don't see that these days. And it was a nightmare. You know, someone would bolt the turbo on and they'd blow the turbo up. And there's 50 different reasons why it may have happened. Usually it's related to not enough oil coming from the motor because whatever they tapped is either providing not enough oil or too much oil, or their drain line isn't draining fast enough, or they're pressurizing their crankcase, which is like pushing oil back up and flooding the cartridge. You know. And then all of a sudden you have a turbine wheel like halfway down your exhaust. That's a nightmare. So then people are angry. They just blew up their $3,000 turbo. It's always our fault. So then we're having to try to figure out what went wrong. So for us, there's no benefit to doing problematic products that cause customers problems. I think you'll find most tuners, you know, are in the same position. And we've been around for 20 years. We'd like to stay around for 20 more. So, no major issues that I've seen.
No.
And if there were, you know, we would try to get out in front of it and make sure that we either warned anyone who was having a problem, that, you know, who could have a problem.
Yep.
Or we would make changes or re-engineer around the problem to create a solution. Hey guys, I have an S5 B9 with currently stock suspension. I want to install your springs or your sway bar and wondered what links I should get. Definitely for a street car, we'd recommend our Dynamic Plus end links. That's going to be a good option for a street or even like a weekend, you know, driving event, HPDE type car. Any ETA on rest of world tuning file for RS5 B9 with GPF?
Yep, we are actually working on that in do you want to say 2 weeks-ish or so?
Good.
But yes, we have a couple of cars lined up. We're working with
Our friends.
in the UK there, and
Very similar.
we will we'll have more information on that soon.
And we're sorry.
We just don't have them here, so that's a much longer development path.
But I'm sure they'll be here any day now. Do you guys have any plans to do a build video on your channel, Nick?
Yes.
Which one? The S4.0T?
Yeah.
We do have footage that we filmed to do a S4.0T build video, and we're still planning on it. So stay tuned. I promise that I didn't plant that question.
I know I didn't put it in there, but Justin did. Thanks.
Nick would have deleted it. Y'all are making me want to sell the RS5 and get an
I saw that
S5.
comment.
A lot more mod options for the S4 S5.
Yeah, and that's just the nature of the market. I mean, there's 50-to-1 ratio of S4 and S5 versus RS cars, so it's probably actually even higher than that. So a lot of the mods are going to come hot and heavy for the more popular platforms.
Yeah, it's when you're kind of in the Audi universe, the RS5 is a nice upgrade over that.
Oh, absolutely.
It's worth the money. There's a reason why it exists, and if people like us never came along and ruined it, then that would hold up. It's just kind of like if you go to McDonald's and you want to get a cheeseburger, there's the basic cheeseburger for $1.50, and then there's the quarter pounder with cheese, and the quarter pounder with cheese is 3 times more, but it's a lot better. But if you learn how to cook and you want to go out into the world and create a delicious hamburger, then what McDonald's offers is kind of irrelevant. So like we're now giving you these gourmet ingredients, cooking techniques that you didn't know exist.
The cameras. for position for now. But live stream is launching.
That's good.
Yeah.
We should take them up on
I would love to.
that. Yes, we need editors. We really wanted to hire one, but and we still will. But anyways, talk to Nick. That'd be great. So anyways, yeah. If you want to get into the world of culinary, the unlimited culinary options that exist, then you're probably gonna want to leave McDonald's and come out, to the grocery store with us, and we can show you what you can do. So, if tuning your car and modifying it and doing reliable modifications, that give you that kind of power and performance interests you, then selling your RS5. Now's a good time to sell an RS5. Not a great time to buy an S5, but you probably walk away with some money that you could put towards some of these mods. And it's actually pretty cheap in the scheme of things. Cheaper probably than it's ever been to get that kind of power and performance.
Oh, heck yeah.
With mods.
It's so accessible now compared to what it used to be.
I mean, just stage 1 E85 for under $1,000 is ridiculous. But even if you go the TTE 710 or 810 route with tuning and supporting mods, you're going to be less than 10 grand, in. And you're talking a 700 horsepower daily driver, reliable car. So there's definitely a basis for that. Now, if you hang in there with the RS5, all this stuff's coming for the RS5 too.
Yep.
Power and performance is going to be similar to the S5. But yeah, it's up to you. Then there's kind of the styling and some of the other creature comforts that come with
you get the fenders, you get the rest of the RS5.
And the RS5 I think it's a gorgeous looking car. It's beautiful. You could fit a ton of tire on it. A lot more than, on an S5. But RS5 is a cool car. So, you're kind of down to 10 grand here or there.
Yeah.
In the scheme.
We're in round 2 of questions.
Holy crap, they're pouring in again.
Back in.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's your favorite car brand that you guys don't tune for or work on? So that would be basically Volkswagen, Audi, BMW.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like I have a pop-out answer.
What's yours? I'm struggling with this.
100% Porsche.
I think that's where you're going.
I wish we could tune Porsches. It's just not a good market.
I haven't had enough seat time. There's stuff I think I like or I'd want to play with more. But it's weird, quirky stuff. Like the aerials, some of the Lotus stuff, some of the more track weapony stuff. Because the daily driver stuff, I love the Volkswagen Unity lineup or similar cars, the Porsches.
But this is about car brand.
Well, that's why I like the outside of the box like that. Just a complete tangent to what a normal car is in some of those. And then I've said before, McLaren also interests me just because of what that is. But again, it's a tough one to answer.
I'd love a McLaren. I don't know if they're the best cars around.
I'm not saying they are, but
or performance.
No, I wouldn't either.
Just for me, I had a 996 turbo at one point. It's still absolutely the funnest car I've ever owned. And just get the thought of a 992 or even one of the 991s, with that much more power, performance, and it's just a great brand. They make phenomenal cars, amazing engineering company. But that's not that much different than a Volkswagen or a so literally the same company. Let me think for a quick second. Yeah, I think that's it. Sorry. I'm pretty much an Audi guy, so I'm pretty bought in.
It's not a terrible brand to be attached to.
Now a question, more not a question, more of a comment. Anyone on the fence about the stage 1 tunes for B9.5 SQ5? Just do it. It wakes up the car more than you can possibly freaking imagine.
Yeah, it does.
So this is counterpoint to the guy who's I flashed my car. And
was it 9.5? That was an 8.5. But still, you should certainly be feeling it. 9.5. Yeah, you're going to get a huge amount.
The effects are.
Yep.
How was Monterey Car show stuff? It was awesome. I was there for one day. I went on Thursday. We had a booth there, and I hung out mostly with the Audi club. It's funny. I think it's from this live that we've been doing, but like I literally walked onto the premises and someone recognized me, and then like just
I was surprised by
like,
that too at the at our open house we had a few weeks back.
So
was
just all kinds of people coming up, and so I spent the entire day talking to a lot of people that I didn't know or had never.
It seems like you become more approachable,
And it was really cool in that way. It was neat. Audi brought out one of their IMSA GTOs and Trans Am cars and a rally car, and those an E2 rally car.
Yeah.
So those were there. It's just I've had the pleasure of actually working on those cars. I've never driven one, but I've supported them at the racetrack and things like that. And just the simplicity. I mean, those cars just made me fall in love with motorsports and Audi and with cars to a huge degree. I took some pictures.
so much of those cars too is like it's engineered simplicity too. Like
It's
for the
just
time,
so
like in the '80s when you're chucking cars through woods, like you need to be able to like rip it apart, fix it, put it back together, and it needed to
Just the cockpit is like bare painted metal with just a few wires and a small like manual tack and just a couple small things. And then the IMSA GTO has like a little digital display, and there's just a knob that you just so while you're driving you can just flip, and there's just a small display.
Yeah.
And what it displays is the rotary knob.
basic.
But there were championship winning cars that were banned because they were too fast. But anyways, it's always cool. I always think I should stay for the quail thing, and I should just be there for the whole week. And I just have a lot going. All right, let's see. Can I fit TT 720 stage 1 B9 2.9 T tune while I wait for stage 3 release? We talked about this last week. You could do a lot of things. You could do the splits between two Volvo semis like Jean-Claude Van Damme while they're driving at 30 miles an hour. But we haven't tested it, so we can't say for sure.
Both the Van Damme thing or this.
I would not try the Van Damme thing either. But eventually we will release an actual tune for whatever turbo you have. We only have a TT 710 tune right now for that motor.
No.
We will have more coming.
I think you're crossing up RS5 versus.
Huh?
This is TT 720.
RS5.
Oh, RS5. Okay. Regardless,
Yeah.
we will release a 720 tune. I actually have. Okay, so since now I know what we're talking about, have we heard of anyone running 720s on our stage 1 tune?
No, but I've heard of other people switching off of hybrid turbochargers from other brands, going to our stage 1 on stock turbo and being significantly faster.
Yeah.
So
Then the hybrid turbo.
Yeah, no, it's the stage 1 optimized tune for the stock turbos is I believe going to be your fastest setup currently.
Our stage 1's running is faster than any hybrid car.
It's the fastest car.
So our stage 1 is the fastest. So just hang in there. But no, you're not even going to get the best possible. Even if it worked and didn't blow up your motor, it's going to be nowhere near optimal. In fact, it's probably going to be slower.
Chances are
because the boost profiles of the two turbos are completely different. So
my laptop's about to die.
Is that bad?
hammered.
Well,
There's a
I
lot
won't
of
be able to see
questions.
the
Okay, well.
Oh, on that note, also, I guess similarly, there's this one down here.
Get rid of any update questions.
Yeah, and that's same thing. Is there's people that haven't are wondering when tunes are going to be coming out, and they're we've been talking about it for a while. It's like we have a lot of stuff we're working on. We could either just not say anything, and I don't know what the right answer to that is, but we've got a lot of projects, a lot of hardware and software efforts underway, and the more common platforms will get more attention because there's more people waiting for that. So we're not trying to string anybody along. We're just simply telling you what we're working on and what we're doing.
What's your favorite sounding cat pack for the supercharged V6? I think our consensus here is the AWE.
Yeah, I think the AWE is kind of...
If you're going to pay to switch out your whole exhaust, the AWE options sound pretty good.
Yep.
Would a B9 S5 downpipe work on a B9 SQ5? No.
Nope.
Totally different.
Different legs on them.
Will you guys be working with Merc Racing on their new supercharged tune files? We're not sure. We can't comment.
We've talked about it before. It really depends. We're going to be steered by the market on that one.
Is 034 still hiring? What are you still looking for? And no, I am employed. We are currently desperately seeking openings in our manufacturing department and shipping departments. I believe that's the main area we're hiring for. We also do have an opening in customer service. If you go to our website, you go all the way to the bottom and click on careers. All of our job openings are posted there. We are always hiring, always. And let's just answer these really quick. Is a 5,000 RPM launch safe for stage 1 B8.5 S4 S5?
Full send. That's impossible to answer. I mean, that really depends on your surface and prep that you're.
You can experience a failure from launching at any RPM.
Yeah,
it's less about what RPM you launch at and more about the force that's generated from the tires interacting with the road surface.
Almost always you're going to want to launch at a lower RPM to actually get off the line.
You're gonna blitz all four tires.
Blaze the tires. You're probably whacking the rev limiter because the wheel spin. Short shifts. It's there for the edge cases that might need something like that, but it defaults I think at 2,500 or 3, and then almost everybody's leaving the line with those at like I think 1,800's been pretty much the best bang for the buck there.
All right. Will your B9 high pressure fuel pump flow more and be able to make more power than APR or the VIS units? Basically, I'll speak about the APR unit because I'm familiar with it. It maxes out the piston size potential in the housing, and it's the same thing we will do. So our pump will flow the same as APR's. We will be doing a piston upgrade, just like the older generations of vehicles have. So it's a very simple installation. Anyone can do it. So the price will be substantially
there's one little more hurdle on the B9s. It's got a pressed on retainer, but it's still obviously doable.
Yeah. You'll just save a lot of money by doing it yourself. Do you sell tunes for the Mk5 TSI GLI?
Yeah, we've got a bunch of those.
Do we? Okay. The GLI. Check out our website. All on our website. Thank you. The downpipe for the B9 S5, will that trigger a check engine light? Yes. Mm-hmm. Any aftermarket downpipe, basically, unless it's designed
at an OEM level of
will trigger a check engine light. No. If it doesn't trigger a check engine light, then it's probably the same as OEM.
Man, God.
Hi guys, are you Irish? No, but I'm half Scottish. You can tell from my accent.
Yep, you're right. I've got Scottish and German, and I think that's most of them.
Yeah, I'd like to know why you're asking though. But yeah, I am not Irish, just Scottish. Are you going to make shock mounts for the B9 A4? We did look into this. Mark, follow up with me on that. I mentioned a while back. You mentioned your ball joint replacements might work on a TTRS with different control arms, like from a Golf. Any updates on this? I believe if you do switch to the steel control arms, then you can use our ball joints. I think that's the main issue is.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember replacement. I think it's just a track width thing.
But I think that's mostly in the frame. I think that shoot us an email if you'd like.
Yeah, we can confirm it. We're obviously doing this off the top of our heads. So.
Yeah. Is your TTE 710 in stock or back ordered? So if you go to our website and you add it to your cart, and you go to the cart and it's green and lets you check out, then that means it's in stock. Okay. So Nick just checked. We are currently out of stock, but we have more coming all the time. So if you'd like to get the fastest TTE 710 on Earth, then place an order with us, and you will get in line for the next batch that's coming. Yep. If you'd like an ETA on that, shoot us an email, contact at 034 Motors.
So they're coming straight from TTE as fast as they can get them to us. So,
but if you called TTE or you place an order with them today, or you went to another dealer and placed an order today, that order would be put in today. Ours has already been put in. Chances are it's been there. We
have a standing order with that. Yeah. It's already being built.
Couldn't find B8 stage 2 plus horsepower torque 93 octane numbers on the website. Is there a tune for it? Or not enough dyno?
There is a tune for it. It's been done. I don't have numbers up. That's yeah.
Can we get? It's not been
No,
forever.
it's a huge amount. It's been forever, but it's a huge amount of work to get everything normalized again for getting marketing collection on that. And
We have a tune.
we have a tune
available.
and yeah,
It
there's
makes more power than
Make
regular.
power. You know, we've said before too, the 2 plus stuff we strongly recommend running the E40 file anyway.
Yeah.
You get much less performance, gain out of the 91 and 93 stuff just because you're getting octane limited there.
Is getting a cold air intake really worth the money? Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you are tuned and if you're on a stock car, no, because like we've talked about before, the factory ECU is going to control and limit torque. So you could put the world's highest flowing parts on the motor, and the ECU is still going to deliver the torque that the factory calibrations specify. But once you do a tune like any of our tuning, we greatly open up those parameters so that if your intake can flow more air, the ECU will provide more power. And typically intakes are a low cost way to get another 5, 10, 15, 20 horsepower. They also increase and improve the sound, so you can hear more of the induction and turbo sounds, which typically people who like cars like that. Otherwise, these new internal combustion engine cars sound really no different than electric cars. Stock. Have we heard about the rocker arm issue for the B9? We talk about that every week.
It's every week now.
Quick summary, it's not really an issue. I was hanging out with an Audi service department manager on Thursday at Legends of the Autobahn. He said they've seen like 1 or 2 cases of it. He doesn't.
They're the largest dealer in the country.
The largest dealer in the country. He doesn't think it's a widespread problem. It's very isolated. Again, nothing to be too concerned about at this time. Your shipping department sent me the wrong shirt. Okay,
We can fix that.
why don't you go ahead and keep that one and then email us and we will get you the right shirt. We're sorry about that. Contact at 034motorsport.com.
Yep.
One more minute. How's it going on the test fitting for the Mk8 R? It's good. There's not a lot of Golf R Mark 8 in the world right now.
Yeah.
Volkswagen's not delivering them, but we'll have a car coming to us in the next month or two, and we will be doing lots of test fitting on that. Will your B8.5 supercharger heat exchange ever see a price drop? The retail price will only go up.
The world is not going
If
cheaper.
recent inflationary pressure is anything. However, we will have a sale at some point in the future, and if you'd like to wait for that announcement, you will see a discount. Does going full 034 suspension make a significant difference on the B8 platform? What type of track differences does it make? Yes,
It does.
substantial difference. Much faster on the track.
Way more throttle steer capable. You don't have that push tendency when you start getting into the power nearly as much. Even with a sport diff, it would still, hesitate to kind of start rotating.
Flatter handling, more responsive,
Much flatter, much sharper
more grip,
response.
and then combine that with some good tires.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of different levels to go through too, because we've got the full spherical, we've got full. You can get pretty dialed in. For
Adding the camber in the front will make a huge difference. So yes,
Yeah, and then that rear sway bar. So yeah, it's very transformative.
yeah. Big thanks to you and yours. All love from this dog. You make my Monday lunch so much better.
All right.
Well, thank you. Glad to hear. We appreciate that. So cheers. We'll see you guys. I think we should be back next Monday.
Okay.
Woof
Woof.
woof. All right.
Yeah.
Cheers.